Welcome to the August 12th, 2019 Advance Report for McGowan Group clients and NetWorthRadio.com listeners. I'm Spencer McGowan, your financial weatherman, with a fast-paced tour of the wild global financial markets this week. And I'm also president of McGowan Group. Come see us at the Crescent in Dallas. Look at this. This is Dow Jones Industrial Average. What is that? Well, that's little g and our beloved Trump fighting it out in the trade war. And the dreaded trade wars cause a lot of money to move because of the premise it's going to cause a global recession. And then where are we going to be, right? Well, the Dow goes all the way to 25,000. Recent high back in July was 27,000. Then we have a nice big rebound. About the time we get to here, CNBC's Kramer said that whole sell-off was just on a set of bogus worries by investors, a lot of them institutional, which you're going to see in the Treasury bond market activity in a few slides. But we look at this, range-bound Dow. Let's go to the longer term. Look at that. Dow hits near 27,000, near 27,000. That's the beginning of 18. That's August 18. Then we have the mini panic. Then we get back over 27,000, almost to 27.4. And boom, look at that. Trade wars, pandemonium. And the yuan devalued itself from about 8 to the dollar, or to about 7 to the dollar. And the yuan devaluation was thought, oh, China regains its advantage, and then where are we going to be? Well, a lot of those worries disappeared by the end of the week. The Dow rallied back over 26,000, gave up some ground on Friday. But again, we're stuck in this same range. This is a 3-year chart. Look at that. We got coming up on 2 years of about the same on the Dow. What's happening to earnings? That's what we really want to know. Look at this. We got 450 out of the essentially 500 Dow companies reporting. Sales growth up 4%. That looks okay. And earnings growth anemic, but it's about 2%. 2% is growth, not shrink. The jobs report this week, well, the jobless claims this week came out at near historic lows. So it's not a recession yet, right? Energy off a little bit, 2%. The star performer, communication services out of the different sectors. And of course, healthcare actually with an 11% gain. Woo, materials. Well, we're going to get to commodities here in a second on the agricultures, but I want to talk about this massive amount of money that went into treasury bonds. It was like buy treasuries with both hands on the long end with a bunch of institutional money. Boom. Look at that. You buy a treasury on the long end, it pushed the price up, and of course the yield down. 2.2% on a 30-year bond with huge duration risk if the rates go back up. The rates were at 3.2 earlier this year. Wow. Then we go all the way, this 10-year treasury sitting down here, falling below 1.7% at the end of the week. The white is the 10-year treasury. The T-bill, look, yes, this is a big yield curve inversion. Well, the T-bill at 1.95, and the Fed target was just lowered to 2 to 2.25. So the money flow that's happening here globally appears to be driven by the fact that you got about a fourth of the bonds in the whole world trading at negative yields, where you have to pay money to put money in there, primarily Europe, that seems to be profitably printing money. Let's look at a little longer term here. Okay, 12-year chart on interest rates, and you can see as these cross each other, the inversion, it happened back there, but this 12-year chart gives you a historic perspective. This is incredibly low for interest rates, bizarrely low, and it is dangerous. In a long-term government securities fund, boom, you could give up 5, even 10 years worth of your yield in a rate spike. That's why the 30-year Treasury, 20-year Treasury, 10-year Treasury, not much reward, and they're extremely dangerous. Now, China came back. Xi said, we're not going to buy any more food from the United States. So I wanted to see what the impact was on that one. Look at this. Soybean, corn, and cotton. It appears soybeans and cotton, the number one imports. You could see the sell-off was primarily last week and by this chart Monday. So what we've got is a little rebound for the rest of the week. And let's look at it historically. Did these commodities plummet to historic lows on what Xi did, saying, I don't want to buy your food? And of course, that's not good for farmers. Actually, if we look, yes, we're near the lows of each commodity, not so much with corn, and of course, we're bouncing off the lows with cotton. So yes, it appears to have had an impact, but it is not an implosion to historic lows. Bottom line says earnings are still growing, the jobs market is still good, and the impact of the trade wars is yet to be determined. Where do we think investors ought to be? Well, the longer play program is at NetWorthRadio.com. We're going to talk about getting high income with gain potential and the benefits of having some cash yielding about 2%. I'm Spencer McGowan, President, McGowan Group, your financial weatherman. Join us each week. When you subscribe, you'll get alerts each time we post a new video. And if there's fast-breaking news in the markets, we're going to be right on top of it with investment strategy you just can't get anywhere else. Join us at NetWorthRadio.com. Thank you for tuning in to our YouTube channel. I'm Spencer McGowan, President, McGowan Group, your financial weatherman. We sponsor each week NetWorthRadio.com broadcast that has the charts and graphs, many of which you saw today. We also sponsor this YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe for fast-breaking news, an alert when we post something in a market condition that may have changed. Our goal is to help you, as an investor, make the right decisions at the right time. And that's part of what this YouTube channel is about, as well as NetWorthRadio.com. I am well served with a team of 10 people, including myself. And that team that cares is actually made up of people who devoted to your net profits and your success, as well as excellence in service. If you want an educational experience to follow this up, get to NetWorthRadio.com, the McGowanGroup.com. Right here, we disclose our net client experience all the way back to 2001. What that includes, the bear market cycles of 02, 08, 2018, and the recoveries through the most recent quarter. That is true education of investors and exactly how our clients have done, disclosed right here. Further disclosures, value at risk of loss. Yes, investments are going to fluctuate. That's part of the reason for this broadcast. And that can actually work to your advantage. We'll build that into your plan. So I urge you to go to NetWorthRadio.com, fill out the preliminary client questionnaire, a free 1-hour brainstorming session by phone or at the Crescent in Dallas, and we will map out a multi-year plan for you and your family that's appropriate. Just because we talk about a security on this broadcast or any securities doesn't make it a recommendation for your portfolio until you have that written plan. Thank you for tuning in today, and we'll be back next week as your financial weatherman.